give a little shout out to your hometown, wherever you might be from. Australia, that's fantastic. It's international. I always get excited when we have our international broadcast where we're sharing and connecting all over the world, because then we can really say that we are connecting all over the world. Connecticut, that's what's up. Thanks for joining in Connecticut. So that's awesome. St. Louis, Miami. All right, fantastic. All right. So we're doing this thing all over the world. So that's pretty cool. I've been to a couple of those places, been to Miami, been to St. Louis, but have not yet been to Australia or Connecticut, but I plan on doing both. So I want to go to both places. I plan on hitting all 50 states. So visiting fam in Delaware, that's what's up. Delaware, I've been to Delaware, so I've been to a couple baseball games and been through Delaware quite a bit. And since that's just basically down the street from us here in Pennsylvania. So tonight, I'm going to jump off and start off this week. We're going to talk about simplifying love, making things simple, right? This process of love it can get complicated. And so today, just want to share with you a thought that you can carry with you into your life, that you can apply, whether, in one of your, in a romantic relationship or just in life in general. And you know me, if you've been with me any length of time, you know that I'm going to always encourage you to start off loving yourself, right? Finding that worth and value and developing the skills that are related to love and applying them to yourself first. Because I believe that as you love yourself, it it gives you, first of all, it gives you practice to love on someone, right? You have time to practice. And I think practicing love is important, because if you're going to be great at anything, you need to practice it. And so since we have these lives that we are always connected with 24/7, why not connect with our own selves? Why not connect in the process of loving our own selves daily, right? So that as we engage with other people, it's not foreign to us. We are used to love. We're used to the work and the effort of love, and we're used to producing in love. And I think that aside from just simply having this idea of romantic emotional feelings and experiences, when we get good at the basics of love, the work of love, it can really transform our lives. So this week I'm going to talk about simplifying love. And tonight, we just want to talk about how we can simplify it. What does it look like to actually simplify love? And what I wanted to share is something real basic. You take some aspect of your life, some aspect of a relationship. Don't look at all of them. Don't look at everything that needs to be done. Don't try to tackle, every obstacle that you have. Don't do that. That's too much, right? That's overwhelming, right? You're trying to chase every fox out of the vineyard. No, don't do that. Pick one thing. Pick the one thing and say, all right, I'm going to address this. No need of opening up yourself to every challenge that you might have in your relationship. If you do that, it's overwhelming. First of all, you're bringing too much to the table. Right? You're bringing too many topics to try to process to the table. So you simplify. Say, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really give intentional effort to this particular area, and I'm going to focus on this. Focus is going to be a great asset for you. Like, okay, I'm going to become I'm going to become great at this particular effort, this particular energy that I'm putting forward in this direction to get this accomplished. I want to become great at it. And see, the one of the things that we have is this opportunity to become. So let me break this down. Right now, this is not going to sound like proper English, but hang with me. Right now, you be something, right? You're in a state of being, right now. Now, what love is going to do, your intentional efforts, what it's going to do, it's going to take you from your state of being and help you become. Let me give you an example. A seed is in the state of being a seed, but that's not its ultimate end all be all, right? That's not where it wants to stay. It doesn't want to stay a seed. That's not the greatest expression of love that it's ever going to experience. Like, oh, I'm just a seed. This is fantastic. Wow, I'm a seed. No, there's something greater. It wants to become a tree. Not only does it want to become a tree, it wants to become a tree that has fruit. Not only does it want to become a tree that has fruit, it wants to become a tree that has good fruit. And so if we look at our lives that way, we are in the state of being right now where we are the seed for whatever is possible in our lives. You right now, if you take a moment and you just begin to visualize, if you close your eyes, you actually do this. If you close your eyes and you visualize the person that you want to become, if you close your eyes and visualize the life that you want to live, if you close your eyes and you visualize the relationship, the romance, the adventure that you want to have in your life, close your eyes and just think about it. Like, get it in your mind. Get it in your mind. Picture this, picture this environment. Picture the picture. See the vision. See, let's not make it all mystical. Like, oh, okay, what is it to have a vision? Here's what it is. Close your eyes and think of some stuff. Okay, you think of it, that's a vision. Okay. If you don't like it, change it in your mind. It's a vision. Right? So close your eyes, think of it, visualize it, realize that you're not there yet, which is totally fine. You have to become that person that's in that situation. If you see yourself as a corporate CEO and right now you're like, I'm not there, that's fantastic. Great. You picture yourself being that and you must become that. What does that person do? What do they sound like? How do they look? If you picture yourself in your future, in this vision you have, and you say, I picture myself, I have a vision of myself 10 pounds lighter. Okay. You must become 10 pounds lighter. Now, don't worry. If right now you're like, I don't have a vision. Like, I don't have anything that's like moving me. Give yourself some time, give yourself some moments. Begin. That might be the place where you begin to practice. You might just want to begin practicing having thoughts of yourself in a different situation, having thoughts of your relationship in a different situation, having thoughts of something that moves you from where you are and places a demand on you for you to get there. It might be your educational development. Think about it like this. Is there one aspect of your life where you want to see growth? Is there something that you perhaps want to do? Is there some measure of courage that you want to have? Perhaps you don't want to live your life being bullied anymore. So you say, I'm going to be courageous. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be daring. I'm going to do something. Absolutely. Just imagine it. Think of it. And as you think of it, as you begin thinking of what you see, as you begin to visualize it, then you say, okay, let me simplify now because that's a big, grand vision. That's something big, right? Something that's going to move you. You have to become that. So first you say, okay, what's one thing, not a lot of things, what's one thing that I can do to move from where I am to what I see? Not a lot of things. So that seed, that potential, you say you're looking at your life and you say, I have the potential to perhaps, I have the potential to become this, right? So since I have the potential to become this, what's one thing I need to do? Think about that seed. One thing that a seed needs to do is get into the right environment. So you might focus your energies in the next day, the next week, and you say, you know what? This week, I'm going to focus on my mental environment. See, there are lots of different environments. I'm going to focus on my mental environment. I'm going to begin to actually pay attention to my mental environment. What is my mindset? Who am I allowing to talk to me? What am I taking in? What am I listening to? What am I reading? What are my internal thoughts? This is your mental environment. What am I doing with this? See, now I'm making sure as a seed, I'm going to focus on the mental environment. Or perhaps it's your emotional environment. Or perhaps it's your physical environment. You start thinking, I'm going to work on this one area. My physical environment, it needs to change. So, what am I going to do? Let me look around my dwelling place, my house, my apartment, my car. When I show up somewhere, what does it look like? See, contrary to popular belief, love doesn't just happen. Love needs to be cultivated. Love needs to be cultivated. It needs to be worked. Place love into a garden. It's gardening season. It's seasons are getting ready to change. So topics are changing, right? It's gardening season. Place love into an environment. It needs to be cultivated. We have to do some stuff. We have to prepare an atmosphere. We have to prepare an environment. We have to prepare the soil. So many people feel like, oh, just because I showed up at home, my spouse should be happy to see me. No, not really. Not really. Please don't get it twisted. Just because someone is there with you doesn't necessarily mean they are there with you. There are so many people whose bodies are in a physical place, but their hearts are far from that place, totally disconnected because the environment hasn't been cultivated. People talk about wanting to make love. Well, make the environment, make the physical environment, make the emotional environment, make the mental environment. What are you actually doing? What are you actually doing to make someone being with you, make it so that they actually want to be with you? Think about it. Think about it like this. I'll turn it from the topic of romance. Do your dreams actually want to be with you? Like, do your dreams want to be with you? Are you attractive to your dreams? You want to go to school and you want to get a degree. Is that degree attracted to your study habits? Is that degree attracted to your efforts with your assignments? Oh, you want to have a business. That's fantastic. Is that business attracted to your efforts in business? Whatever you see before you, right? Whatever you see in your future, it's totally something that you can have, but is it attracted to you? Can you actually draw something to you? Have you learned how to be attractive? See, I think a lot of people they get it well, no, well, maybe not a lot of people. A good number of people get it when it comes to the physical. They recognize. Now I'm not talking about like manifesting something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the work and effort of attraction. Okay, where you look at yourself, right? And you say, "All right, this is what I desire. I desire for someone to be attracted to me physically." Okay. And if I know that I want someone that's going to be attracted to my muscles and to me having a bald head and to me being able to do physical things, lift weights or ride a horse, if I know that I want to use that to present myself in such a way that someone finds me attractive, then I need to know who would find that attractive. I need to pay attention. So I'm not trying to manifest, simply just manifest a woman into my life. No, I'm studying to find, to create a bridge of attraction. I'm actually putting forth effort, like, oh, okay. So this cologne, I put a little cologne. Hmm, this got a response from this person. See, this is let me just say this. This is why it's so important to know what you want. It's so important to know what you want in relationships because when you know what you want, you're not just trying to attract everybody. I realized this a couple weeks ago. I thought about how growing up, I used to wear Eternity for Men. But the young lady that I was interested in, she liked that. So what cologne did I buy? I bought Eternity for Men. I would keep that in rotation because she said she loved the way that it smelled on me. Well, I wanted her attention. I didn't care that Susie Q liked something else. I'm like, I don't care about that. I'm like, I like her. I want her to be attracted with me. Matter of fact, I don't want you to be attracted to me because I know what I want. So I'm not trying to attract what I don't want. So many times when we're living in this state of desperation, right? We live so desperately. We're like, okay, I'm just going to throw on some cologne or some perfume, hoping that somebody wants me. No, don't do that. You got to take charge. You get to be in control. Before you go out trying to create attraction, know what you want. That's why it's so important to have a vision. When you have a vision of what you want, then you decide what you want to attract. Like, oh, I want, and then you fill in the blank, right? Like, I want water. So, because I want water, I now eliminate soda. Because I'm saying yes to this, I'm now eliminating alcohol. No, I want this. I don't want that other stuff. Saying yes to this removes the other things, right? And so, okay, and let me check this out. Sometimes what you want, right? Especially when it comes down to another person, sometimes what you want is not what they want. And so now you have to realize, okay, what I want and what you want are two different things. Stu Fam says this. My husband doesn't like cologne, but I do. And although I ask him to wear it for me, he won't. All right. That's a tough situation, right? You're like, I want a little cologne. All right. So, like, all right, but I don't like it. I don't want it. So you have a couple different things. Perhaps you realize, you know what? I want it. He doesn't really want to do it. Is this a deal breaker? They're like, nah, it's not really a deal breaker. And if it's a deal breaker, you say, all right, it's not a deal breaker. I want it, but I'm willing to be okay not having that. Because what I want even more than the cologne is the intimacy of this relationship with you. See, sometimes we want something and every want, every desire is not at the same level. Sometimes something is a greater priority, is prioritized. And you say, you know what? I'd rather have the intimacy with you over the cologne. Now, just a little relationship hack. If you come back with that, sometimes that kind of language can soften somebody's heart. You say, you know what? I've been asking you to wear cologne, and I know you don't want to wear it, but I'm willing to let that go because I want you more than I want you in cologne or want cologne on you. That that can be the kind of language that gets somebody to go put it on. You know. Also, while we're on the topic, just strategizing. Sometimes when we want to get what we want to get, you praise what you want. Don't criticize. Don't criticize what you don't want. Praise what you do want. And so sometimes praising something can tenderize the heart. Compliments go a long way. Like, babe, or whatever word you might use, I you're just irresistible to me when you have the cologne on. Oh my goodness. I just love it. You smell so good. It just my goodness. My husband, you are the husband of all husbands. Oh my goodness. The way you husband it is just so good. Right? Listen, that would get me to the store to go buy some cologne. Right? I'm like, all right, I'll break it out on special occasions or on Tuesdays, whatever. Sometimes, like just praising what we want, and we go through it that way. We work and we can tenderize the heart with praise. So often we just go the route of criticism, and that is that can be rough, right? So I oftentimes when I'm doing my coaching, we're having women's classes and marriage classes and things like that. I, Fellas, if you're on here, you can back me up. I oftentimes say that men are really quite simple. We're quite simple beings. And if you ever want to get a guy to do something, tell him he's really good at it. Right? Like, you have a problem with we always use the one of taking out the trash. You have a problem with it, he doesn't want to take out the trash. Well, tell him he's really good at taking out the trash. There's something I'm convinced there's something in the power of a woman's voice when she lays out a compliment that moves it can just move the world. And this isn't just me, like, my teammates, different guys that I've talked with. There's something about, and I call it the voice of the cheerleader. It just is like, hey, thank you for doing that. That was really good. And while we're on this topic, now we're kind of getting off, but we're still staying on topic. Simple things, simple things, simple things. If you ever watch a sporting event, like I played sports my whole entire life. If you ever watch a sporting event, notice how often men congratulate themselves. Right? Men congratulate each other very frequently, like in sports. I mean, like after every play. After every play, there's some form of congratulations. I don't even like you just pay attention to it. Like, oh, you could be playing basketball. You're at the free throw line, which is a standard part of basketball, being at the free throw line. And it's a free throw. It's not even like anybody's defending you. Somebody goes up, they're at the free throw line, they shoot it, they make it. Their teammates come up, high five, high five, high five. Same dude at the free throw line, misses it. Teammates come up, give him a little dap, give him a little five anyway. Man, you got it. You got it the next time. It's a part of the game. It is the most basic part of the game. And yet, something about it. Give them a little congratulations. It does a heart well. I think about this as an athlete. I think about how I've played sports and people cheer for you to do the most basic part of the sport, the most basic part of the game. Like you're supposed to make the play. You're supposed to get a hit in baseball. You're supposed to throw somebody out. Oops. These are what you're supposed to do. And yet people cheer, and that's the response. So I think that's one of those strategies like in home life. Like sometimes you can just switch it up. Start cheering for the most it will seem so goofy, but start cheering for the most simple things. Like, babe, did you really just go and start up the car? Like you were thinking about having the car warmed up? You go, boy, slap on the butt, right? Just something simple makes a difference. Again, simplicity. Sometimes we just simplify things. Don't work on everything. Perhaps the thing that you work on is a compliment, being more complimentary. And I'm not just talking about with somebody else. I always am going to preach. You got to start with yourself because it's easy to wake up in the morning or at night, you're taking a shower, you get out of the shower, You walk past the mirror with no clothes on and you start criticizing. Ugh, you don't look like you used to look 5 years ago or when you were a teenager. And why are you saggy? And why is this? And why is that? Criticism. When at the same time, you could just look at yourself and say, you know what? And say something kind. Like pay yourself a compliment and not a compliment on the back of a criticism or vice versa. Not, "Hmm, you look nice, but you would look better if your butt wasn't sagging." Like, don't do that. Just give yourself the compliment. Like, hey, and if you can't find anything, just say something. Like, hey, your belly button looks nice today. Like, give yourself something like, you sure wear that water well. Something. Just start practicing the compliment because I guarantee you, if you practice it, it will it'll change your mindset. It'll change your atmosphere. Here's a little challenge. Here's tonight's challenge or this week's challenge. Let's make it a week-long challenge. When you get out of the shower or the next time you look at yourself without clothes on, every time you look at yourself without clothes on, give yourself a compliment. Say something kind about your physical being to yourself. Just practice it. There's this great verse in the Bible that talks about the man and the woman being naked and not ashamed. And I think that's the ultimate goal. I think that should be the ultimate goal for all relationships. That we can completely be whoever we are as we are and not be ashamed. And so that's a challenge for you to not be ashamed of who you are. Don't be ashamed of what you've been through. Just, you know, start off giving compliments so that you don't have to have shame. Just look for things that are praiseworthy. It can be the most simple and basic things like, hey, I know after I take a shower tonight and I shave, I know my head is going to be smooth because I'm going to shave it. I might as well tell myself, like, bruh, you have the smoothest head of anybody in this bathroom right now. What's happening in Tennessee? Right? But no, I love my smooth bald head. Right? I love it. I'm like, it's smooth. And I love how it feels when it's smooth. It's very relaxing. I massage my own head because I'm like, it it like keeps me from having headaches. So unapologetically powerful. Unapologetic about it. So that's my encouragement. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Make it simple. Give yourself a compliment all week. Simplicity. Okay? Go simple. Nobody has to be around. Like I said, I'm going to compliment myself while I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. I don't have to wait for somebody else. Right? Rub my own face. Love you because you're worthy to be loved. All right? So that's it. That's a challenge for you, for me, for us. Right? We're all in this. And that's what's up. I posted 3 videos and I left them. That's great. See, like taking action. Don't let anybody rob you of living your life. All right? Go out and I'm gonna ask tomorrow. Like tomorrow, we're gonna be here at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna ask you to check in tomorrow. Like, hey, were you unashamed of yourself? Did you compliment yourself? You're lucky I don't have your phone number. I would call you. I'd be on the phone. Hey, I'd take it back old school. Call you. Hey, how are you treating yourself? You give yourself a compliment. Don't make me do it. All right. You all have a fantastic evening. The homework. What's the homework? Here's the homework. This week, we are going to intentionally get in front of the mirror without clothes. When we're in front of the mirror, we're going to look at ourselves and give ourselves a compliment. Okay? Compliment yourself. That's it. And I know, while I said that's it, I know that that's a struggle. Because the thing that many people want to do is criticize. So you have to give yourself a wholehearted compliment with no criticism on the back, no criticism at all. Find anything you want to speak well about, but it has to be about you. Don't make it like, oh, the bathroom looks so good around you. No, no. Compliment yourself. Look at yourself. Look at your eyes, your ears, your nose, your toes, anything, earlobes. Find something. Make the compliment because you're worth it. All right? All right. Deal. Now let me pray for you. Father, thank you for this day that you've made and for the moments, these opportunities to be together. Thank you for the encouragement that we find in community and togetherness. Thank you for the power to live and not be ashamed of who we are, not be ashamed of our bodies, not be ashamed of our past, to live without shame. And so tonight, I pray that new vision, new thoughts, new ideas would be sparked inside of each one of our hearts, that we would look at our own lives and see someone that is praiseworthy, see aspects of life that are praiseworthy, things that should be spoken well of. The beautiful being that is each life that is represented here. I pray that they would rise in love even more with themselves and those that are around them, to move from lower places to higher places, greater connections, greater depths. And I pray that our lives will never be the same because of this thing called love, this experience called love. So may we have love and may we have it in abundance. Thank you in advance for giving it. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Yes, indeed. All right. That's it. Go. Have a fantastic rest of your night. Love yourself and love others that are around you. You never know who needs that compliment. So you be the one to give it. You're the right person for the job. Have a fantastic evening. My name is B.A. Shepherd, 2 P's, A-R-D, reminding you to be a shepherd. The world has enough sheep. Love you much. Good night. See ya.